I think it's definitely worth the first pick because it is a champion that can control the early game.
For the entirety of Singularity, and I think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They can just go towards that pickup without too much of an issue. But that's the thing. You got to decide, are we going to go for, a Lee Sin or for Singularity on blue side? So, yeah.
I would have actually been very surprised if it was the Gragas as a first pick, because I just don't think when you have like so many mid laners banned away that I think you need to put your first pick into the mid lane at that point. So they did grab the Corki first, but Ziggs is going to be the answer in the mid lane for the side of Futbolist. They just got wrecked by it, so why not pick it up for yourselves? Alistar Xayah for the bottom lane versus the Braum Corki in the bottom lane on the other side. So they actually swapped it up and went with the Yasuo for the mid. So this is the nerfed Yasuo. We'll see how it does. It's the first time that we've seen it since also no longer has as much speed on the dash to get himself out of sticky situations.
10% max HP nerf early on. That is a pretty big nerf to say for sure. And that because of that, really, if you're looking at this one for Futbolist, like, okay, we've got Yasuo, played in mid. We got a composition that, especially thanks to the Lee Sin, upon hitting level 5, he can just go for the Dragon Kick and put Saw in a really, really bad spot. If I were them, I would just scale as quickly as possible to level 5 with the Lee Sin and make him gank as much as possible that mid lane position and get that Yasuo behind, because by him being so squishy, he's a really, really nice and easy target to eliminate early on. But the high base mobility can make it just a little bit harder to actually pin him down. And also with the wind wall, we can deny that gap closing capabilities of the Lee Sin. So he has a toolkit. He does have a kit that enables him to survive those ganks, but it's going to be down to the execution, especially of Swist on that Lee Sin, to see if he can put that Yasuo behind early on.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that should be their focus here in the early goings, is trying to just put some focus on the Yasuo, because getting Ziggs ahead as well is just going to do wonders for your team. Zauer is going to be having to really kind of manage the shield that he has in the right situations and be careful of that gank. So getting vision is going to be extremely important as well. You see they've got wards in the river on both of the pixel brushes for the blue side, and Lee Sin just going to be going through his clears. Not going to be making that early level 2 or 3 gank that sometimes you do see, where junglers will just clear their first 2 camps, just get B level 2 and go for that early gank. But not going to be happening here, as he is going to go for that nearly a full clear here on his top side of the jungle.
Going to be slowly trying to prepare potentially for a gank. Redemption's going to be a little bit adventurous. Going to be looking, wards it up, but he's not going to be using the smite, potentially keeping it for later endeavors. So that's going to be all fine and dandy for me. But there you go. Especially for a difference, he's going to be getting himself that scuttle. So he's going to get just a little bit more control and seeing exactly where the Lee Sin's deciding to roam. It's Kagli and also Rampok taking their own 1v1 into the top side. Who's going to get it though? Zor's going to be joining the mix. And he steals it away on down to 7 HP. And Kaglian might just go down, flashes away, pops the barrier also. But the Ignite was there to make sure they were going to get the kill. And Yasuo picking up that kill is huge and will help to make up for that nerf that happened to him in 2.1b.
Yeah, great start here for the side of Singularity, not only using that full rotation to secure their bottom scuttle crab, but then also the fact that Gragas was able to rotate down to just kind of disrupt the free scuttle take by the Olaf, and then of course the roam up from Zauer as well to secure the kill and get the scuttle as well. So both scuttles going the way of Singularity. That's a really nice start. Now they're spotting Sweet trying to make an invade as well. He's going to get caught out a little bit, but does get a couple of camps or a couple of jungle minions taken away there on the Raptor camp and gets out safely. So no harm, no foul there.
No issues as we're going to try and slowly make our way to the meat and potatoes of this game. Futbolist, yeah, PGS in the bush though. He doesn't know there's going to be a ward there. There you go. Now he knows. We are wonderful trying to go for a little peek, applying the passive down. Then the top side, there you go. That's going to be a nice little bit of a Gankarino coming on through from For a Difference on the Vi and putting really this Olaf in a really, really bad spot. He was only level 4, so you know that he doesn't have the Ragnarok. He's not going to be able to survive it. Pops to heal. Can he survive in time? No. That's going to be a nice trade-off actually from Sweets, making a one-on-one. And a flash from Rampok. He just fully respects overall this Lee Sin. He does not want to mess with it whatsoever, because they know if they put him in too good of a spot, he's going to be the game-changing opportunity that Futbolist desperately needed in this game.
Yeah, and that's, again, a smart decision of just choosing where to gank based on levels. I mean, you've got the Kaglian, once he gets 5, he has that Ragnarok. So they went in before he got 5. You have between Vault Breaker and the Body Slam, even without the ultimates, that's so much CC that this Olaf just can't deal with. pre-level 5. So they take advantage of it. They do get the kill, but obviously a nice answer from Swiss to be able to make it a 1 for 1 trade and keep this Olaf still in things here in the top lane.
Now we're about to hit the 4-minute mark. There we go. That's going to be a 1,000 goldie currently going in favor of Singularity. Really nothing to be sniffed at. It is just not as dominant as you might expect. It's something that can easily be overcome. So Futbolist is still feeling pretty good. We can see the resets will put into action. Both Gragas and Olaf are going to be joining on that one. So the 2 Baron laners will be joining the mix very, very soon. As they're going to try and potentially take control of the river. And we're poking especially into Pegas. They got himself no scuttles as of right now to take full control of that position. Reknar's going to be given the blue buff. He's going to be securing it for himself. Himself some extra stat boosts for that initial fight. As they go, be careful. Pegas a little bit far forward. But they're not going to collapse on it just yet. But especially by having redemption on this Corki. And yeah, as long as he spots him, he's just going to keep poking them down. Yes, they're going to go for the engage. 2-man ultimate. This is such a great ulti into the Valkyrie also. The amount of displacement is through the roof for Singularity. You pick up already 2 kills. Going to be going for the 3rd also. And is just... the side of Futbolist that just can't do anything. Every tool lands at the end for Singularity, and now they're looking for this free Mountain Drake, and Reknar's trying to look maybe for a kill onto the side of Rampok, but unfortunately there's nothing he can do, and that's going to be already 5 kills going their way, plus the Mountain Drake in the hands of Singularity.
Yeah, big fight. Yasuo getting the knock up to start things off. He goes in with the ultimate, and then immediately, we talked about the fact that Yasuo, his biggest deficit right now is with the post nerfs. Once he goes in, he has a very difficult time getting out. So what do? You just throw a package delivery and a explosive cast from Gragas on top of it and say, hey, you can't follow up on the fact that this Yasuo just went in, and he's able to get out scot-free after getting that big ultimate down. So really well played by the side of Singularity to initiate that fight and then immediately disperse the fight right after, allowing them to pick off the people that have low health, grab themselves the objective of the dragon, and get out without losing a single member in that fight.
This is what I was hoping to see from Team Kesso in their own respective matchup earlier versus Na'Vi. Is like, got your combos, and then you capitalize on those initial pushes and just play your composition to his win condition. Though, top side, Pegas gonna have to flash away. It's a little bit too late. Redemption goes for the kill. Now IOP is stranded, left solo. Yasuo does die though into the middle lane position, so they are getting a little bit of bounty gold from that one. That's going to be pretty PogChamp for them. Though the tower's going to be falling on the top side, despite the extra bit of armor it gets from that push. And that's going to be some more gold coming their way. Zig's going to pop himself the Mega Inferno Bonk. Seem like they're interested with a fight, but I would not recommend it. Oh, you know what? That's going to work out just fine. Great, by the way, engaged at the end. He's going to commit. Great Glacial Fissure buying so much time. That was so clutch coming out from him. And he's going to be keeping this Corki alive. What a play from your wonderful.
Interrupting the Lee Sin dash. And also I want to point out the fact that that fight even started the way it did was Ziggs threw the bomb and Vi used the ultimate to get out of the Ziggs bomb and start the engagement onto the Xayah. So really well played by everyone there on the side of Singularity to, it looks like at first, oh, they're just using it to get out of the fight. But then they say, hey, we've got him picked here. Why not just continue this engage? They find 2 more kills. And again, getting the kills and the objectives on top of it, they are having their cake and eating it too.
Now there's 7 minutes in. Gold lead is going to be up to already 7,000 currently. So they're going to be keeping on scaling this game up. Though mid tower is really what's enabling, I would say, Singularity from going plus ultra in this game. If they can able to get this one, it's just going to be putting Futbolist in such a bad spot. They will have no positions to fight from. And especially that would mean the Reknar is just not going to be safe because by default, he has very, very poor mobility. Just go for the Mega Inferno Bomb and clear the wave, but unfortunately, Yasuo might have to give it up. Oh, that's taking a lot of tower shots. Zor's not going to be ready for that next fight. Then the top side, I got to say, I'm liking what Futbolist are trying. 3-man push onto a solo Rampog, but the wave is just not there, so unfortunately, got to give up on that plan. The idea was initially good, I got to say, but the lack of wave is just making the entire play just not working out whatsoever for them.
Yeah, Rift Herald dropped very early here, but they are just going to use it to secure that turret. And they say, you know what? We're not going to bother waiting until the dragon is about to spawn. We're just going to go ahead and take the turret now, get that final outer turret down. As they saw 3 members top and said, hey, let's just make the play mid. And now rotating on up, Olaf is going to just drop. Even with the Ragnarok, it was too little too late. Now there is a couple members of Singularity caught, but the big Glacial is going to be clearing them out, followed by the Yasuo ultimate. And just when it looked like maybe some members of Singularity were caught out, they turn the fight back around and find themselves multiple kills. Finally, Gragas does fall, double kill for Ziggs, but that's all they're going to get while they're still losing turrets across the map.
The objective control is just so good. They're just going to be pushing down that bottom side tower. That's the second going their way. Ziggs trying his best to force that wave, which Ziggs is good at. Ziggs is really good at clearing waves. Just a few abilities and the wave is dead. And with his passive, might be looking to get it, but I think that he knows that he's clearly playing with fire. And they're just going to collapse on it. For a difference, doesn't have the ulti, so he won't be able to really close that one too easily. Able to jump his way back to safety. Going to pop also the heal. Himself a little bit more energy. Oh, doing a lot of damage onto Your Wonderful, so he might be able to pick himself a kill, but Your Wonderful going to be respectful. Move his way back to safety and pops the Unbreakable just to make sure he can make it out alive. But now Sweest in that bush, just check in. And get poked on down there. The info greatly done. Already down to 50% HP, and the fight just barely begun. Yasuo, though, Zor, normally it's supposed to be squishy in 2.1b, and you're not even seeming like you're squishy. He's going to go for the dive, picks up one, going to dash his way back to safety. That was such a close. That was almost going to be a triple kill coming his way for Zor. Now they're going to go straight back to the Drake, but man, I got to say, Zor, the nerf, you're just not feeling it.
2.1a, that would have been a triple kill.
Yeah.
But he does still get at least 1 kill traded there, and as a result of both Ziggs and Alistar being very low, they have to recall, which means they have to give up that Ocean Drake. So 2 dragons going the way of Singularity, and they continue to build upon this lead, now up at about 10,000 gold. So sticking on that 1,000 gold lead per minute that they continue to expand.
Yep, exactly. So as long as you hit that average of 1,000 per minute, you are basically having a really dominant performance. Now we're looking into this one. One thing that I also really like is the resurgence of the redemption item. Reason why, if you guys are not too familiar with the stat, it does 10% max health damage. So overall, it is an item that's really good for vision scouting and also purely based around, getting that initial damage onto the enemy team, and it makes it so easy to actually get that. And you can even, with the 250 damage it does on the jungle minions, potentially grant a steal if you're lucky enough on good on the timing. But redemption is just such a good item right now, especially after the nerf onto the lock-it enchant. You're going to see it in basically every single one of your games. Is very normal to see, though. Pigas going to be checking a bush without any information. Instantly stunned away by the passive of Brawman. He's supposed to be the tank, but just does not feel like it. He feels like the new Yasuo, actually, I would even say. Elpis under tower, 50% HP. Dived away by the Yasuo, though. Great Blade Caller going to put him in a really bad spot, but the Dragon Kick is just going to be sealing his fate, and he shall fall eventually. But they're staying in the bush. Sneaky, sneaky Singularity as they pop the stun once again. Glacial Fissure right on top of the Ziggs, but they did give up for a few seconds. Gonna go golden and dodge the damage straight into that explosive cask. Such a good play from Rampog, and they're just memeing on top of Futbolist at this point.
I feel like Rekna probably could have just walked away if he didn't use the stasis there, but because he went golden, it gave the rest of Singularity time to walk up and take him down as soon as it wore off. Now they're going to be on the Baron. There is a potential for a steal, but Olaf has no way to get over the wall, especially not when he's getting into a fight here. They do take out one. He gets over with the flash. He doesn't quite get the steal, though, and this is going to be Baron picked up. But now, can they escape with these Baron buffs? As Pygas wants to try and fight, but he's going to be melted in return. Singularity just, every time it looks like they're about to be backing away or taken down, they just re-engage and find so much damage.
That's going to be a weird trade-off, a weird follow-up to that fight, to be honest. It was initially very in favor of none other than Singularity, but at the end, they did a little bit of a commit. Well, both sides, to be honest. I was surprised that Futbolist were not able to get himself a triple kill for Cagliam. Reason why, I looked at it, and we had the flash available for Pigas. Like, if they both follow up on that one, see how low they were, I think that A headbutt pulverized off Pigas could have potentially given a double kill minimum to Caglian, but unfortunately by not doing so, it made it a little bit harder for them to find that opportunity, and they do not get the most out of that situation. Now, 30 minutes into the game, the goalie is just going to an all-time high, currently on 12,000, looking to make his way towards 15k very, very soon. But the main issue is Pigas. He's just getting melted, and every single time, and he's supposed to be the tank of his team, but it really does not feel like it, and he's not being the front line he's supposed to be, and this is the main issue, that Futbolist, without that tanky front line, they just get dived upon by that Yasuo just way too easily.
And I mean, that's the goal difference right there. I mean, you look at Alistar, he's got one item, and then the boots obviously upgraded as well, but that's not going to be enough. His only tankiness is really going to come from using his ultimate, and once that wears off, he is actually very squishy in all things considered. So Singularity are just playing around this really well. They did walk out of that Baron fight with 3 Baron buffs intact, so they're making good use of those with some split pushing in the bottom lane. Gragas has been working this minion wave up towards the inhibitor turret. They have minions in the mid lane as well. Those are going to get cleared out.
Calm down there. Okay, that's going to be the redemption. Yasuo, you were gaming. I get it, but come on, man. That was a little bit too disrespectful to the boys of Futbolist. Unbreakable Will going to be popped away. Great. Explosive cast going to buy a lot of time for their team, and they're able to put anyone out of position. But why are you going solo without your team? That's the cow. He's dead. And the tower is just about to go down. Inhib tower is down. That's going to create some natural pressure with these empowered minions in the mid lane, through and through. And what do you want to say is just really Futbolist 2 games in a row just not able to make things happen. This is a way better game too, by the way, from them, but it's just Singularity today. They're vibing, they're feeling it, and they're just dominating these 2 games so easily. Are they going to have a little bit of a setup? Oh,
they got spotted by the sweeper, but they're still walking anyway.
Why are you walking? What are you doing? I'm sure you've got Ragnarok, but this is definitely the fight you want to go for. Great Mega Inferno Bomb coming out from Rekner, going to pop the GA, but it's only the GA going to get popped, and you can't find anything off of it. And Singularity still win that one rather dominantly. It was a close one for sure, but at the end, they still popped only the GAs. I don't get it. They knew they were there. Why would you face check?
Are we sure that Futbolist isn't the team with only 2 to 3 players on voice chat? Because they got spotted by the sweeper. All 4 of them should have been seen on the sweeper, and Lee Sin should be able to say, hey, there's 4 of them in that bush, and Olaf just walks into it anyway. Like, that is one of the most bizarre decisions I've seen in a while. They had to have just not communicated that information over in order to make that play happen like that. Or maybe just seen the outlines but thought it was less than it actually was. Something had to have happened there, because otherwise it just does not make sense why you walk into that bush after seeing all of them standing there from the sweeper outlines.
They know they don't need the Baron. They're just going to be forced to fight. Gragas pushing to the bottom side. Great knockups instantly. Ragnarok straight onto the back line also. That's going to be a nice attempt coming out from this Olaf, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be good enough. He's going to be falling in the fight as just started, and at the end, it's going to be a double kill for the Gragas happening. He was able to teleport his way back into that fight as Lee Sin just trying his best to survive as long as possible to maybe avoid this game from finishing. Maybe a nice little kill would be good, but ulted by the Vi, and he's just gets taken down instantly, and the wave is crashing on the enemy Nexus, and this is going to be another 2-0 stomp for Singularity. What a game from this team. They just took 2 games so easily. It looks like this was a 5v1 5-man pentakill against a team that had never played again with each other. It is such a dominant win.
Yeah, that was very much lopsided. I mean, there were moments that shined for the side of Futbolist more so than in game number 1, but there were also a lot. I'm not gonna cut around.